Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, guys, I appreciate I'm a little bit late, but thank you for waiting for me. Guys, listen, it is over for us now. It's over for us, I believe, in the United Kingdom. And what do I mean by that? I mean, if you are 20 years old, if you're 30 years old, your generation is Capidamara, guys. It's over. It's finished. It's not coming back. We are in the fourth turning crisis cycle right now in the United Kingdom, guys, okay? There's no going back to it, guys, okay? There's absolutely no going back. So in this video, ladies and gentlemen, in this live stream, I'm going to talk about the calamities that are coming to the United Kingdom. I'm going to talk about how we need to protect the golden generation. And by golden generation, guys, I mean if you are 16 and under. Of course, 17 years old fit into that category. Of course, 18 years fit into that category. But I'm encompassing this now, guys, and I'm calling this the golden generation. So you guys have all seen the meme. Hard times create strong men create good times create weak men create hard times. You guys have all seen that. That's an analogy of the fourth turning war cycle. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the fourth turning. We are in the crisis phase. That is the reality. Now, whatever metrics you guys want to use, whether that is subversion, whether you're using, I don't know, whether you're using Yuri Bezmenov's four phases of ideological subversion, where you have demoralization, destabilization, crisis, normalization. You know, whichever one of these metrics you guys want to use, things are not good. And right now, guys, I'm calling it. If you are 16 and under, like, everybody needs to protect that generation now, guys, okay? Our generation, we failed catastrophically. Now, we failed catastrophically because our parents had it so good. Because our parents as parents, they were the boomers, and they had it really good because their parents, they were the war generation. And right now, guys, the kids who are 16, they're going to be the next war generation. That is the reality of the situation, guys. There's no going back. This is the way of nature. It is what it is, guys, okay? So we're going to be talking about that today. I also want to throw in a little bit now, guys, okay? I kind of don't do this enough, and I want you guys to know, like, where I'm coming from. You know, I'm a military veteran. I've seen active conflict in, I think, all the conflict zones that have been fought in the last 20, 25 years. You know, I'm pro-military, I'm pro-police, and believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, I am actually pro-government. But it's very difficult not to criticize. And by that, guys, okay, I think we should have a strong military. I think we should have a strong police force. I think we should have a competent and strong government. But unfortunately, guys, I can call these things out because I've worked in them and I've worked behind the scenes. Now, when I call these things out, you know, when I throw dirt on the government, guys, it's very difficult when you're in those, in those positions of power. But guys, come on, let's be fair when it's fair. I think things could have been handled a lot better in this country. Like, does it feel like we're smashing the gangs? I don't know, guys. Maybe it does somewhere. And if you know what, guys, listen, if somebody's out there and somebody can tell me, Sean, yes, we are smashing the gangs are being destroyed, please let me know. Please let me know what that actually means, smashing the gangs. Because, like, as far as I'm concerned, all I'm seeing is migration numbers go up and up and up, crime go up and up and up. I heard a statistic today that Britain is the capital of the world per capita for, you know, the crime that men mostly commit against women that's, like, really, really disgusting and, like, horrible. You know the one I'm talking about that seems to be on the rise in the United Kingdom. Turns out that per capita, Britain is the capital of the world. Who would have thought it, guys? Who would have thought it? But right, guys, listen, let me click some buttons on TikTok. I'll jump on to the chat in a second. But guys, listen, we are triple streaming again. We are triple streaming on YouTube. We're triple streaming on TikTok. And we are now, our newest arrival, we are triple streaming on X as well. So guys, please show your support on all the platforms, on TikTok, on X, on what's the other one I said, on YouTube. Let me click a few buttons on the screen here, guys. I just need to click a few buttons on the screen to get this live going. Is it that one? That one? that one, I think we are good. Right, ladies and gentlemen, listen, I jumped on this on the cuff. I jumped on this on the last minute. So let me just open up my web browser. Let me just open up my web browser here and have a look what's been happening, because I do want to. I am conscious that yesterday we were talking about the secret, the secret move to bring thousands of Afghan military into the United Kingdom. So I do want to have a look what's been updated on that. I literally left the house early this morning, guys. I've only just got back, so please bear with me. Let's just have a little look what's on there. What's on the headlines. Right, 4 hours ago. Right, so this is from 4 hours ago. We'll read that. Oh, it looks like there's another water. It looks like there's another water ban, guys. It looks like there's another hose pipe ban in force. Yeah, right, okay. So if you guys didn't catch my live stream last night, I was trying to keep you guys up to date on what's been happening. I was trying to keep you guys up to date on what was happening on this, the Afghan relocation scheme, where members or people from Afghanistan, Afghan military, were rehoused in the United Kingdom as part of a secret scheme. So, my initial reaction to this was, how many more of these super injunctions are actually out? How many more of these super injunctions are actually out? And people don't know what's happening, because literally a super injunction is just that. And again, look, guys, I'm from a military background. I'm from a security background, and I totally understand how, Karen and Jane, who work at Asda on a weekend, they don't need to know what British Special Forces are doing in Afghanistan. They don't need to know what what the RAF are doing in RAF Akateri. They don't need to know any. I get the need to know thing, and I really do, guys. I really do, and I think there's a lot of information that we just don't need to know. When people say, "Oh, we have a right to know this information," I'm thinking, do we really? Do we really have a right to know this information if it's putting British service people in danger? But with this, thousands of Afghans relocated to Britain as part of a secret scheme. It kind of, to me anyway, guys, it just doesn't sit right. It just doesn't sit right. And a lot of people have been messaging me saying, Sean, are the government Guys, listen, I can't make this up. I'm not even making this up. A lot of people were messaging me privately saying, Sean, are the government smuggling in foreign soldiers and putting them in hotels? I was like, not a chance, guys, not a chance. That's not even a thing. I mean, I was thinking the logistics and the height that would need to go to for the government to be smuggling these people in. But it turns out, I was wrong, and I'll put my hands up, guys. But listen, guys, the crux of this video, it's over for us now. We need to protect the golden generation, guys, okay? We need to protect the golden generation. And by golden generation, I mean kids who are 16 and under, guys, okay? We need to start protecting these kids because they are the golden generation. We need to start looking at things as in, we can't look at things anymore as in elections, as in cyclical electionly. Did that make sense? We can't look at things anymore as in a cyclical election cycle. I think I'm saying that. You guys know what I mean. I mean, we're all looking at reform now, guys. We're all looking at reform to come and to come in, and Nigel Farage with his big Nigel Farage with his big reform wand and plethora everyone with security. It's just not going to happen, guys. It's not going to happen. What is going to happen is this is going to have to be a movement, a generational movement, and I believe the generational movement is going to be if you are 16 and under, guys. Okay, that's the generation that everybody my age, under, over, everybody in the United Kingdom now, we need to protect and nurture that generation of kids, guys, okay? Because they're going to be the ones that grow up and build this country back, or they will not. They will either build this country back strong, or it will fall into or we will become a third world country. That's where we are right now, guys, okay? Listen, all my videos are public. Or on public record. You know, you can find them. You can find them on TikTok. You can find them on YouTube. You can find them on X now. We're uploading on X. You know, and this is why I'm saying, guys. Okay, if you are 16 and under, if you know someone that's 16 and under, you know, those are the kids that are going to grow up, and they're going to be the kids that build this country into a strong country, or that's going to be the first generation that's living in a third world hellscape. Thousands of Afghans are being relocated to the UK as part of an 850 million scheme set up after a personal data leak who supported British forces. Now, look, guys, you know, I think I'm going to do a standalone video about this, but let's just be clear about one thing, guys, okay? Let's just be clear about one thing. These Afghanis, they weren't helping the British forces. They were helping Afghanistan. I would say that because ultimately the British forces were trying to help Afghanistan. They were trying to bring law and order to Afghanistan. They were trying to bring the rule of law, democracy, choice, equality, back to Afghanistan. There's a strong argument to say that we failed. Sorry, guys. There's a strong argument to say that we failed miserably. But, you know, I think we need to get rid of this misconception that, these people were helping Britain. They weren't helping Britain. They were helping themselves. The data set contained, there's nothing new that's actually come out about this, I don't think, at the moment, guys. It does look like it's all the information that, hang on. It does look like all the information that is out is already out and people are just recycling it. Defense Secretary unable to say if anyone transcended to a beam of light after data breach. It's going to be very hard to determine that, guys. Listen, if you've ever been to I'm just looking at this picture here, guys, on the BBC. I'm just looking at this picture on the BBC, published today at 7:28 this morning. Defense Secretary unable to say if anyone killed. Oh, sorry. What did I just say? I didn't say anything. Defense Secretary unable to. I've got to be careful with the algorithm on TikTok, guys. Okay, when I close TikTok down, I'll go over and I'll talk a little bit more freely on X and YouTube. But sorry, Defense Secretary unable to say if anyone transcended to a beam of light after Afghan data breach. Now, the picture on here is a Getty Images picture, and it shows you a British military patrol. Shows you a British military. Well, I perceive it to be a British military patrol. And there's an Afghani at the back, and he's got his rifle. He's got his tool over his shoulder. Now, honestly, guys, I'm looking at this picture. And I'm like, right, okay, is this the quality of? Is this the quality of soldiers we're importing right now? Is that the quality of soldiers we're importing right now? So if you're in the military, guys, that's something that's just like an absolute no-no. It's worse than embarrassing to do that, guys. But what do I know? What do I know, guys? I've only been a tactical firearms instructor for a little bit. You know, I'm like a new tactical firearms instructor. But anyway, right, guys, listen. I'm gonna jump over and get some questions. There are more water hose pipe bans. What other hose pipes do you have? There are more hose pipe bans announced today, guys. Okay, I am going to come on to that in a minute, but let me just jump up and get the comments on TikTok, and then I'll go over to YouTube. Good evening, everyone that's joining. Thank you guys who are sending gifts on TikTok. Kev21, Musaka, Liz Sue, Morning Sean. Who else have we got? Angela Dawson is saying morning, Sean. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to talk about aliens today. I wanted to talk about aliens because there's an look at that sun. I need to sort the sun out in here, guys, because the light keeps swizzling the cameras. I wanted to talk about aliens today, guys, because there's another asteroid. I don't even know if it's an asteroid. There's an asteroid or a comet or something heading towards Earth at the moment from they think it's from outside our solar system. I wanted to talk about that today, guys, but I think I'll have to wait until this evening before I talk about that. Four Paws is saying good morning, good evening, Joe. Linda Lou is saying hello, Shorty boy. Stu Hatch is saying good morning. Joe is saying, oh, you'll be able to give us your raw opinions on X. Will you do X only streams? I don't know, guys. I don't know how it works. At the moment, I'm triple streaming, and that's kind of like manageable on its own. I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. I think it may be worthwhile doing. I think it may be worthwhile doing X only streams. First of all, once we've built the once we've built the following up on that, but also when things that are more sensitive that start happening, like when there's escalations in the Middle East, when there's escalations in Eastern Europe, when there's things happening really quickly. And again, guys, listen, the summer of carnage in the United Kingdom, like it's here now. Like nobody can deny that it's not here. It's here now. We can see it. We know what the direction is, guys. We know what the direction of the Summer of Carnage is going to be. Silence is saying, hi all. What's the topic for today? So Silence, the topic for today is it's over for us. It is. It's over for us, like at my generation. And I would say if you're 20 and above, unfortunately, forget about it. Forget about any good times, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen. If you are 20 and above, it's just unlucky. You are just, you are right out of luck. Of course, some of those people are going to fit into different categories, and different categories are going to fit with different people. But I want to say, guys, okay, we need to identify, we need to protect the golden generation in the United Kingdom. And I'm calling it now, guys, the golden generation in the United Kingdom is if you are 16 and under. That's the golden generation, guys. They're the kids who are going to grow up, and they're going to be, because you've got to think about we can't think about things anymore as in, oh, Reform are going to win so many votes, and Nigel Farage, it's not going to happen, guys. It's not going to happen, unfortunately. I have been looking more actually into this company, The Shield. Let me just get their website up. Hang on. The Shield. Spell Shield wrong. That's not it. That's the Shield UK. Right, where is it? Where's the? Right, I'm getting up. Right, guys, can somebody tell me what this website is? I had it up yesterday, but I can't remember it. Shield, is it? Maybe it's Shield UK. Ah, yeah, there it is. Sorry, guys. No, that's safety. Right, I can't find this, guys. I had it up yesterday. Guys. This group called The Shield or Shield. And look, guys, they've made a lot of they've made a lot of media recently. You've got this guy with the tattoos on his face, and he's a biker, and they're getting bikers. Look, guys, okay. I think they've got. I do genuinely think they've got. I do think they've got some. Good intentions, guys. I do. I think they've got some good intentions. But the reality is, we need to stop putting trust and faith in other people. Put that trust and faith in ourselves. Put that trust and faith in your community, because ultimately this is where it's going to happen, and all these videos that the Shield are going to be producing, about them protecting people, that's going to be a fly. It's literally, guys, a fly in the ointment, guys. It's nothing. The numbers that are needed now are absolutely phenomenal. And I think the more people put I think the more that people put their faith in other people, the less they, you're kind of outsourcing your own safety to someone else. I don't want to do that, guys. I want to do my own safety to my, I want to look after my own safety for me and my family myself. I don't know where I go with this, guys. I don't know where I go with these guys called The Shield. And again, I just don't know where I go with that. Anyway, Linda Lou is saying, my granddaughter starts Sea Cadets in September. My kids went and it taught them a lot. They loved it. Oh, I think that's fantastic, Linda Lou. D. Marie Gen X is saying, good morning. I hope you are keeping well. I am D. Marie Gen X, just absolutely rushed off my feet today. I've got I don't even know how many messages. Hang on, I'm going to tell you how many messages I've got in the group chat here. Because it was going crackers in my pocket. I don't want to open it, obviously, because they'll see I've seen it. 6. I've got, do you know, it felt like more than that. It felt like there was more than that. Okay, whatever. I've got 6 messages on the group chat, so I need to open my work group chat up because I'm not going to open it up until they, you know, because as soon as you open the group chat up, they're like, oh, Sean, you've seen it. I'll just say I've been in the gym or something. But yeah, guys, really busy this morning. Laurie C is saying good morning. D-Marie Gen X is saying, I follow Shield. They're really getting some traction at the minute. But look, guys, like, I genuinely don't know where I go with this, guys. I don't know where I go with this. I mean, I've always been someone who can, and I don't mean like one of those guys who knows Kung Fu and can do a spinning back hook kick. Well, you know, I've done a few spinning back hook kicks, but what I'm saying here, guys, okay, I'm always somebody who can look after themselves. I've always been somebody who's practically looks after themselves, change my own tires, fix my own engine. You know, if the grass needs cutting, I'll do it myself. If the gate needs fixing, I'll do it myself. If there's a problem, I'll fix it myself. And when I see these organizations spring up like Shield, first of all, I'm thinking, right, okay, where's the money coming from? Who's funding this thing? And what motives do they have? Because and this is what happens, you get people with good intentions like reform, they start to move forwards, they start to get traction, and then you get somebody slide in, what's that, the Gangnam Style? Is it the Gangnam Style? Is that a slide? Is it a Gangnam Style slide? I don't know. And then you get these people who slide in and they're like, gathering traction, are we? Want some money, do you? Yes, I'll give you some money. Yeah, I'll give you some money. And then somebody will give them a ton of money, and then they'll say, oh, no, it's fine. That organization will grow because of that money. Soon as it's grown and that person or group is dependent on that financial support, that person who's delivering that financial support may or may not say, well, do you know what? I actually think we should go in this direction. And if you don't go in this direction, then I'm going to pull my funding. And then they will naturally go in that direction because it's a really difficult decision, guys. I've been there. You're like, right, okay, what do I do? Do I either leave my core values, which the Shield I'm going to assume was set up with? Do I leave my core values and start again because I'm going in a different direction? Or do I continue taking the money? Because now, don't forget, I may have people on employment, I have staff, I have vehicles, I have people who are genuinely doing stuff. You see where I'm going with this, guys? It becomes very difficult once you start to take money. Silence is saying the Shield is a good idea. Listen, guys, I think a better idea would be for local communities to look after themselves. And this all comes down to, I think this comes down to communication first, guys. People talking to each other. Do you know what should I do? Should I give a FIBUA lesson, a fighting in built-up areas lesson on how to secure a look? So what would we have to do? We'd have to use the scenario of your, wherever you live, it's about to be invaded by zombies. We'd have to call it a zombie apocalypse training. And we could talk about fortifying locations, setting up checkpoints, maybe, monitoring main routes in and main routes out. I don't know. Maybe that's something we should do. D-Marie Gen X is saying, I agree with your analogy with protecting our own, learning skills if need to be, not relying on people. Yeah, guys, look, again, this comes back from me in the military, I guess. Again, from my experience in the military, I've never been able to rely on anybody. We've always been forward mounted. We've always been like, can you guys remember how, like, in, I don't know if you're old enough, but in 2000 and, 2003 in the invasion of Iraq. 2003, people in the UK were sending like welfare packages over to soldiers, and they were just writing to a soldier, Iraq. Do you know how many of those I actually got? Do you know how many of those anybody in my unit actually got? I'll tell you guys, it's not going to take me long. 0. All right. We didn't get anything because we were so far forward, nothing could get to us. We had to deal with things ourselves. We might get a helicopter. We might be able to get a helicopter to drop something off every couple of weeks or something. But, by the large of it, and certainly for the first 4 months until we went back to Alamara, or maybe 3 months, I guess. But certainly for the initial phase, we didn't have anything. So I've always been a firm believer on self-reliance. Don't ask other people to do things. Just accept nobody's going to come and help you. And you know what, guys? When you accept that nobody's going to come and help you, when you accept that you're on your own and you have to build things from scratch, it's an empowering feeling, guys. It's an empowering feeling because it means you're in control, because there's nothing worse. There is absolutely nothing worse. There's nothing that makes you feel more vulnerable than being on the phone. Hello? Yeah. I'd like to report a crime, please. Is it an emergency? What's an emergency? Well, if it's a non-emergency, you need to phone 111. Oh, right, okay. Oh, I'm in a queue. Right, hang on. Maybe I should have phoned the other one. I don't know. Yeah, hello, police, please. I want to report a crime. Oh, it's automated. Yeah, I'll do it. What, do it online? Oh, do I wait or do it online? I don't know. I'm an elderly person. I don't have access to the internet, so I'll just wait. Can you see where I'm going with this, guys? You see where I'm going with this? If you just accept nobody's going to come and you deal with it yourself, it is an empowering feeling, guys. It is an empowering feeling. Hang on, guys. There's quite a few comments here, guys. Hang on. Daniel Payne is saying, what has the world... Daniel Payne, listen, I was literally... One of the reasons I was late, I sneaked into... I needed to get some food for tea. Honestly, guys, I've been rushed off my feet today. Hang on, where is it? Daniel Payne here. Guys, listen, I'm going to come onto YouTube. I'm going to come onto YouTube in a minute, guys, okay? Remember, we're streaming on X, we're streaming on YouTube, and we are streaming on TikTok. Guys, look, there's quite a few comments jumping up. There's quite a few comments jumping up at the moment on YouTube, so I'm going to jump over there in a minute, guys. But listen, Daniel Payne on TikTok is saying, what has the world come to? I totally agree, mate. It was only the other day when I was talking to my mum, I realized how dysfunctional things are in the United Kingdom right now, guys. It's beyond bonkers, all right? Listen, guys, I'm gonna keep saying this at various points in this live stream. We need to protect the golden generation. And as far as I'm concerned, guys, the golden generation are 16 and under. They're the kids that are going to rebuild this country, or they're the kids who are going to be living in a third world hellscape. But coming back to Daniel Payne's comment, what has the world come to? I was literally across the road earlier in just a little local convenience store, and there was an old woman, and I just wanted to hug her, guys. I just wanted to hug this old woman. She didn't. How do I put this? When you get to a certain age, you're still at the old age where you believe what you're being told on the media, where you believe what the government say, and you go, and where we live in Yorkshire, and predominantly people vote Labour. And this little old woman, she had glasses on. I can see her there. And guys, honestly, even now I'm welling up, guys. Honestly, you may see her. You may see. I don't know, maybe has someone got onions out round here? Has someone got onions out? I felt so sorry for this old lady. She was talking to the man who was he was putting the yellow labels on the stickers because it had been reduced. And she was just asking, can I get early access to the yellow labels? And they were talking, and the old lady was saying, oh, yes, we're just worried about what taxes Rachel Reeves going to put up next because we're pensioners and we've just had a bit. I think her and her husband fall into the higher tax bracket or something. I'm not 100. I didn't listen fully to what she was saying. But she's scared now. She's genuinely scared about the taxes that are going up in the United Kingdom. And she's saying, oh, well, we're going to wait and see until that. We're going to save his money and wait and see what happens to this next tax raise. And this poor old woman, absolutely helpless, guys, absolutely helpless, absolutely at the mercy of the government. And guys, listen, it really welled me up. It really welled me up. And you see these things, day in, day out. You see people sleeping homeless, you see veterans, guys, lots of veterans in the United Kingdom sleeping rough. It's like the biggest disgrace. It's the biggest. I can't think of another disgrace, guys, okay, bigger than veterans sleeping rough. I heard that one of the guys who was in the Iranian embassy siege in, 80 or 82? 80, I think it was. One of the guys who was in the Iranian embassy siege in 80. I understand now I may be wrong on this, guys. Please, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I saw a video. I think it was on Piers Morgan, actually. And that guy's homeless. Literally, that guy is homeless. It's unbelievable, guys, okay? But yeah, as Daniel Payne's saying there, guys, what has the world come to? But on a brighter note, my little girl's teaching me to play Old Town Road on the piano, so I guess that's a little bit of positive news. D-Marie Gen X is saying, my other issue is when you have a group doing well, there's open to hijacking. Yeah, D-Marie Gen X, that's yeah. So D-Marie Gen X there, guys, we're talking about the shield. We're talking about when a group starts to grow, people come in who are not, I mean, look, guys, I don't know how the shield thing works, but I looked on their website, guys. I looked on their website, the shield, and apparently anyone can just join up as like a protector. So like, don't you? Look, guys. Okay, don't you think you're going to have massive areas for corruption here, whereby people who are potential predators think, well, hang on a minute, if I registered with this website, I'm going to have access to vulnerable, like, you see where I'm going with this, guys? You see where I'm going with this? Lady Trace is saying, using an app to help anyone needing help from emergency services and themselves in their area. I think that's what we talked about, the, I think we're talking about the Shield app. Guys, look, I looked at it last night online. A lot of people were sending me, guys, look, I'm going to come over to the YouTube in a second, guys. Please bear with me on YouTube, guys. I'm going to jump over in a second. Silence is saying you need to start one called the Ravens. Look, guys, if I give you my advice, it's always going to be free. It is, guys. I'm not going to charge money for helping my community. I'm not going to charge you money, and I'm not going to try and get money for me helping my own community. I'm not going to do that, guys. I'm not going to do that. That will always be free. But on the other hand, you've got to understand, people are giving up their time. People are giving up their, putting themselves out there. They've got bills to pay themselves. So where you can, and again, guys, I get the argument. I don't know where I stand on it, guys. I don't know where I stand on it. D-Marie is saying, I'm not knocking them. They are doing, yeah, guys, look, D-Marie Gen X is saying here, I'm not knocking them. And look, guys, doing something is always better. Always, even if it's the wrong thing, guys. Doing something is always better than doing nothing. Pix is saying Neighborhood Watch needs to be reunited. I believe so as well, guys. I believe so. And this starts with vigilance at low level. If you see a car pull up to a local park or something, and you look and you think, who are those lads in there? Why are they looking at kids? Go over to them. Say, hello, mate. You don't need to be rude. You don't need to be rude unless they're rude with you. Go over to them. Say, hello, mate. What are you doing here? What are you doing? Why are you here? Where do you live? Where do you come from? Take a picture of the car. Take a picture of them. I can pretty much guarantee they ain't going to come back, guys. Okay. Most predators, most opportunists, they don't want to, they want to find the weak. They want to find the vulnerable. Linda Lou, right, guys, I'm going to jump over to YouTube, guys. Let me jump over to YouTube, guys. Okay. Hello, everybody who's joining on YouTube. Guys, listen, I don't think I'm going to get a chance to read everybody's comments on YouTube, but I will read everybody's comments on TikTok this morning. Matt is saying, how are we meant to protect our kids when the government keep bringing in strangers with no English values? I think that's key there, guys. When we talk about, we talk about English because, anyone can have a British passport. No, can we? Do you know what? I think we should have an English passport. I think we need an English passport where you are an Englishman and you are, of Anglo-Saxon heritage. But yeah, look, guys, I don't know. I think should I start doing live streams on how to protect communities and how to set up checkpoints? How to search. Well, you not really search vehicles because that would be well against people's human rights. And I think only the police have the right to do that. In fact, I know for a fact they do. Simon Elliman is saying, that's now going to happen in Slough. Population is mostly Muslim and hate this. I'm not going to repeat that. Silly Gallardi is saying, hi, Before the Gaza war, everybody dismissed the 18 to 30 generation, calling them a TikTok generation, but they proved us wrong. They are the golden gen. Oh, so Silly Gallardi over on YouTube, she's saying that as far as she's concerned, the golden generation is 18 to 30. Look, guys, I believe in the United Kingdom, the golden generation right now is if you are 16 and under. Everybody else, guys, look, as far as I'm seeing it with the demographics and the change and the realities and how fast things are moving, I'm seeing it as 16 and under. But do you know what, guys? It may be the 18 to 30s that may be the golden generation. And look, guys, what I mean by the golden generation, these are the kids who are going to rebuild this country after this mess is over. And it will be over at some point, guys. It will be over at some point. Tina Wood over on YouTube is saying Liam Tuft introduced Chris. He's in charge of Shield. Guys, look, I'm still finding my way with this group called Shield, guys. Okay, I'm still finding my way forward with this group called Shield. I was only really introduced when I'm not introduced to them. I only really started looking at them like a week ago or something. Oh, Chris White saying, I can't believe you're slagging off the only group trying to protect the street, trying to put presence on the streets. Chris, I'm not slagging anyone off, mate, and I don't want anybody to think I am. What I'm saying is, when these groups become bigger, they are rife for infiltration. So, for example, for example, guys, okay, and I haven't got it up in front of me because I can't find it. I was looking for it earlier, but I was looking at it last night on my phone. Maybe it's still on my phone. Basically, on the Shield website, and look, guys, I just want to put this to bed now. I'm suspicious about everyone right now, guys. I'm suspicious about everyone, all right? What I'm saying is, on their website, on the Shield website, anyone can put their name forward to be to be a volunteer. And what I'm saying is, if you're getting vulnerable women phone a helpline at 2:00 in the morning for someone to come and walk them home, don't you think that would be a magnet for potential predators? What vetting's happening? You see where I'm going with this, guys? I'm just very suspicious. And what I think that people need to stop putting their faith in others and start putting their faith in themselves. Come on, guys, listen. Come on, guys. There's not an invention that changed the world that was not British. I mean, the steam engine. I mean, look, guys, the steam engine was the precursor to the combustion engine, radar, the jet engine. All these things are British. Modern physics is, modern physics is Newtonian physics, guys. Okay, everything good in the world is British, guys. Okay, and we're all worried, and people are worried because, and people have lost faith in themselves. Yeah, and then Chris White again is saying, you realize with your mum, everybody was, it was the other day when I was talking to my mum and I realized that not everybody sees these things as black and white as me. So I totally get that, guys. I do. I totally get that. Right, I'm just going to jump up, guys, and get the rest of the comments on TikTok, and then I'm going to come back on to, I'm going to give you guys an update on the water shortages in the United Kingdom, and then, hang on, let's see where we go with the comments. Linda Lou is saying, Google is saying, did you like the stuff I sent you? Google, I always like the stuff you send me, mate. Linda Lou is saying, hotel men in our park every day. We all watch out for each other and watch the kids. Yeah, guys, look, and again, like Chris White over on YouTube just saying, well, how did we even get to this? How did we even get to this stage? Daniel Payne is saying, in my local town, there are 2 people raising money for homeless veterans. It's phenomenal, isn't it, guys? It's phenomenal. We've got literally, we have people who don't have a home, potentially struggling for food, potentially struggling for water, living on the streets, all right? These people are people that joined our armed forces, all right? So at some point, they conceptually thought, do you know what? I might have to actually at some point make the ultimate sacrifice for my country. And what's the country done? Yeah, you guys can be all you lot over there. Have you ever paid tax in the UK? No. Would you fight and die for this country? No. Right, come here, there's a 4-star hotel for you. What? Don't worry about your food, I'm going to give you 3 meals a day. Who's going to pay for this? Oh, the taxpayers. Don't worry about it. Like, that to me seems where we're going. Look, guys, I need to caveat this again, okay? I'm pro-military. I'm pro-police. And believe it or not, I'm pro-government. I think we need strong military. Well, ultimately, guys, everything comes off the military, because without the military, we will get invaded, all right, guys? That is the cut and short of it, right? We need a strong military in the United Kingdom, and I will support the military as much as I can. We need a strong police force, because without the rule of law, people take well, you guys know what happens without the rule of law, but we also need strong government. And by strong government, I mean government that is fair, government that says what it does and does what it says, and government that you can trust. But unfortunately, guys, I do think we are lacking in some of those areas, guys, okay? I do think we're lacking in some of those areas. Oh, and then Daniel Payne is saying they look so dodgy, never served in their life. I know that's not the point, but okay, so I know that there are a lot of these companies. So if you look at the company, is it a community interest company? If it's a community interest company, they can profit. If it's a charity, they can't profit. Now, look, guys, if you want to go down this charity route, I'm not a fan of charities. I've worked for a few charities, believe it or not, and it's quite cushy when you're on there, but I know that a lot of that money goes to salaries. So where they say in a charity, oh, we can't profit, all our money goes to dependents, and all our money goes to help people. Like, honestly, guys, like, when you're paying people 100 grand a year, 200 grand a year plus to run a charity, doesn't sound very charitable, does it? But that's the way that charities get around that. Rather than having profit, they just pay people massive salaries. So just be careful who you give your money to, guys. And listen, if you guys want my opinion on a worthy charity, I think the best charity that you will ever find is you and your kids. Put your money in you and your kids, guys, okay? If you've got any spare money, put it in the bank or under the bed, I guess. I forget, it might not be as safe in the bank. Linda Lou is saying a mother asked one of the men to stop filming her kid. Wow, he said he can do what he liked, and you can't stop me. Wow. So Linda Lou is saying here on TikTok, guys, and I know you can't see, they're watching on they're watching on YouTube or X. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, we are triple streaming. It's happened. The time has come. Shanti Allah in Irish. I think it's your time will come, or our time will come. We're triple streaming. So, guys, listen, I'm at 45 minutes now, and I know I don't say this anywhere near as much as I should. Can you hit the buttons, guys? Can you hit the buttons that help this channel grow? Whether you're watching on TikTok, whether you're watching on X, whether you're watching on YouTube, the like, the follow, the subscribe, sharing, guys, sharing my stuff. Can you share my stuff, guys? Can you please share my stuff on your platforms? Just a little button for you guys, like click and share. I don't know. Please share my stuff, guys. Please get the message out there, because we are moving into bonkers times. But Linda Lou here, guys, is saying, where do we go back? What is Linda Lou saying? I've got somewhere here. Where is it? I just missed that. Right. Linda Lou was saying something. I've missed her. I can't find her comment. Yeah. So Linda Lou here. Linda Lou is saying a mother asked one of the migrants to stop filming her kid. He said, I can do what I want. You can't stop me. And he's 100% right, guys. He is 100% right. He can film whatever he wants, and, you can't stop him. That's the law, guys. That is the law. Unfortunately, that's the law. But, this comes down to the video I did. A couple of days ago where I was talking about trust in society. We don't have trust in society anymore. We don't have trust. You would expect that people don't take pictures of your kids when you're at a park. There's no law against it. And Why would there be? Who in their right mind would go to what grown man would go to a park and just sit there and take pictures of random kids? I mean, obviously, if you're taking pictures of your own kids, that's totally different. I mean, some parents do that a little bit too much, and that's totally fine by me, guys. You know, what we're talking about here is, you know, people from different cultures taking pictures of our kids. Now, I don't mean to scare anybody, guys. I don't mean to scare anybody, but I'm probably going to. And I make no apologies. And I make no apologies for this, because you need to know. There was a recent incident foiled by the police where somebody, let me just get this up, guys, so I don't get done for fake news. So there was a recent attack that was stopped. I can't find it. Right, there was a. Hang on, Southport style. Hang on, man, 17-year-old. Here we are, guys. Here we are. Sorry, guys. So this is from 3 days ago, guys. Okay. So now when we see, look, guys, this puts this in a whole new perspective, guys. Okay. So now when you see people taking pictures. So now when you see people taking pictures of kids and stuff, this is from the Times, guys. I'm reading this from the Times. Okay. A teen planned a Southport-style attack on a dance school and Oasis gig. So this article's in the Times, guys, if you want to go and read it. If you read the article, this kid had pictures on his phone. He's 17-year-old, so I guess they can't release his name. I wonder what his second name is. You know, so this kid had pictures on his phone of a certain dance school, and he was planning a Southport-style attack. He was stopped. He was arrested, and I think he's been charged. He was also planning to attack the first day of the Oasis concert. Now, so now when we see people taking pictures, guys, you know, when we see people taking pictures in parks where there's kids, where there's mums, where there's vulnerable people, you know, it kind of puts things in a different perspective, doesn't it, guys? It puts everything in a different perspective. So many comments on TikTok this morning, guys. What's your thinking behind? Okay, so Daniel Payne is saying, what's my thinking on the USA sending weapons to Ukraine? So first of all, guys, all right, we like the USA, the Americans are not sending weapons to Ukraine. The Americans are selling weapons to the Europeans, and the Europeans will give them to the Ukrainians. It's a massive, like, listen, fair play to Donald Trump. He's managed to have his cake and eat it too. So Donald Trump gets to sell weapons, so the United States can still profit, I guess. You know, the Europeans are going to pick up the funding bill for that, and the Ukrainians are going to get what they asked for. You know, it is what it is, guys. You know, Donald Trump's making money. He's a businessman at the end of the day. Again, it comes back to what I said earlier, guys, okay? We need to put our faith in ourselves. You know, we need to put our faith in ourselves and stop looking at other people to help us. Google it is saying UK inflation at the highest for almost a year and a half. Yeah, it doesn't look good, guys, does it? It doesn't look good. Angela Dawson is saying Shield's aim is not to police or react, it's to be by presence alone. Yeah, guys, listen, I don't know where. Listen, I think I'm gonna do a standalone live stream or a standalone video on this the Shield. I'm not being critical of them. I'm just being cautious, guys. Okay, look, guys. Okay, when I say this, I remember when I first joined Reform, when there was nobody in Reform, guys. I joined Reform when there was nobody in Reform. I went to all the meetings, I was doing all the speeches, I was standing there saying about what I want to do to the country and how I change my constituents. The first time sorry, it wasn't Reform. What was it before Reform? Brexit Party. So when I first joined the Brexit Party, at that election, I was just pushed to the side and somebody else was parachuted in and they said, oh no, we're having this guy in. He's, they brought this guy in. Sorry, I'm going off topic, guys. What I'm saying is I've been in organizations when they start as grassroots and everybody's got a lot of energy and they're pure. But what happens over time as money gets put into that and people invest into that company, into that organization, unfortunately, with that investment comes conditions, and then it just dilutes the whole thing. So, unfortunately, people will be putting their trust in them. People are putting their trust in reform. Nothing's going to change, guys. Nothing's going to change. So yeah, with the Shield, guys, I think I'm gonna do a standalone live stream about the Shield. Google is saying a court hears whether Nicholas Prosper should face the whole. Oh, yeah, right. Okay, that's wild. Linda Lou is saying I think the government should tell us now the real reason these men are being allowed in. I mean, look, guys, I can remember when you guys were sending me messages saying, Sean, are the government importing secret soldiers? And I was like, no, that's not happening. And I'll put my hands up, guys. It was so far-fetched. It was so far-fetched that there was planes, aircraft landing in the United Kingdom, government-sponsored, secretly putting these. It was so far-fetched. I was like, no, guys, that's not happening. It's just, I will always go down the road of cock-up rather than conspiracy, because a lot of times, guys, it is a cock-up. But, it does turn out that I was wrong in this, guys. So I don't know. I'm not even going to comment on what could be the real reason for this. Some people are saying that these guys are going to form a new security force that's going to be, that's going to be loyal to the government. And again, guys, it'd be very difficult to argue against that. It'd be very difficult to argue against this. We've got potentially thousands of Afghanis now who are all military trained. Look, guys, and I will say something. All right, when you say an Afghan military trained, there's varying levels of training, okay, guys? There's varying levels of training. But the loyalties that those guys have will be to whoever's paying them, and they will be to the British government, and that will be to the politicians. Whereas if you deploy soldiers on the streets, guess what? Soldiers have families in the UK. Soldiers have emotional ties to cricket grounds, maypoles, summer fetes, church bells, People have affinities with those communities, and there's certain things they will not do towards those communities. Google is saying ceasefire collapses in Syria's Suwadia as Israel threatens escalation. Daniel Payne is saying, I rejected a job. Yeah. Daniel Payne is saying, I rejected a job at the British Legion due to their salaries. So when I first left the military, I got offered a job as a regional organizer for, I think it was for the British, is it the British Legion who do the Poppy Appeal? Yeah, I think it's the British Legion who do the Poppy Appeal. And I said to the woman when I think it's in Leeds somewhere, the head office. And I was going to be in charge of the Doncaster area. But anyway, that's not relevant. I said to the woman, I said, so where does all this money go, love? Because I've been in the army quite a while and I've never seen a penny of British Legion money. She says, oh, a lot of the money gets, she was telling me, I said, right, can you break that down to me, please? And it turns out a lot of the money that is collected for the British Legion goes to legal companies, goes to solicitors. These solicitors then have to represent soldiers to sue the MO. It's just crackers, guys. It's just crackers. I was like, that shouldn't even be happening in the first place. And I didn't do that job. It wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. Linda Lou is saying, taking in consideration that they have been secretive over the Afghan situation. Right, okay, yeah. So, look, guys, this Afghan situation, these super injunctions, the first question that I had when they started talking about these super injunctions were, what else is being hidden, guys? What else is hiding behind the veil of a super injunction? For those of you guys who don't know, A court injunction would be, for example, say there was a Raven scandal. There was a scandal involving Raven. And there never would be, guys, because I'm as clean as a whistle. All my stuff's on. So, like, listen, guys, go look through. Like, I defy anyone to look through my stuff on social media and not see the direction of travel. Okay, guys, I'm not somebody who flim-flammers and changes tact. But let's just say, for example, there was a Raven scandal. And there was an injunction on that Raven scandal. The mainstream media could say, we're not allowed to talk about the Raven scandal. We're not allowed to talk about the Raven scandal. Yeah, we're going to be able to talk about the Raven scandal in next year or whatever. That would be an injunction. A super injunction, you're not even allowed to say or mention that there is a Raven scandal. So it's totally under the radar. And my question is, what else are the super injunctions over, guys? What else is there super injunctions? Scottish Sonia is saying, my niece and her friend was stopped by someone in a car park and asked the time and told to get in. It's unbelievable, guys. Unbelievable. I mean, look, guys, I think the first step to all of this, it's awareness. It's awareness. We need to tell our kids, look, things are bad at the moment. You need to be aware. You need to be aware of what's happening. But yeah, Scottish Sonia is saying her niece and her friend was stopped by someone in a car park and asked the time and told to get in. Look, this is encroaching slightly on what we talked about yesterday. Yesterday I was talking about an incident I saw involving a security guard. This security guard, English wasn't his first language, but he came out of the supermarket and there was two girls. This is in the broad daylight. And there was two girls with the trolley, and they were like, so they I'm assuming they'd paid. So they'd paid, they'd come out of the supermarket, and they was like outside the supermarket now. They'd not put the trolley back, and they was waiting. I think they was waiting for somebody to pick them up, a taxi. I don't know what they was waiting for. But the security guard took it on himself to come out of the store and start questioning them and going through their shopping. And I was thinking, like, I'm pretty sure when I did my, to go work away in the embassies, guys, you have to do a close protection course. You have to be a qualified close protection officer. And when I did that, part of the thing you do is you do your SIA license as part of the package of it. But what I'm getting at here is I'm pretty sure, and I've never done like security work or anything, but I'm pretty sure that you're not allowed to leave that. I'm pretty sure that you don't have any jurisdiction outside of those premises. I'm pretty sure that's the law. Now, what I'm getting at here, guys, is, as Scottish Sonia's just said, her niece and her friend were stopped in a car park. What I'm getting at here is that security guard came out, and he's got a little bit of authority because he's got the uniform on and he's got the little camera, and he's like, in my opinion, it was totally unnecessary, to come out. Like, why does he care? And he's going through their shopping. But like, I'm thinking, right, okay, so he's out the store, he's checking shopping. Like, what is the difference legally in him checking the shopping there, right outside the door, just where the trolleys are, and following those girls to the car? I don't know. I mean, if he thinks he can do it there, why is he not going to follow them to the car and say, right, come on, let me search your car. Oh, hang on a minute. And you can see how these things are going, can't you, guys? So Google it is saying the Taliban warns thousands of Afghans secretly airlifted to the UK. We will hunt you down after the MOD leaks the list. Look, guys, I mean, no disrespect to the Taliban, but they couldn't hunt themselves down. I mean, they need to figure out, like, they need to get basic utilities back to Afghanistan before they want to go, like, hunt. Yeah, that's embarrassing. I'd be embarrassed if I was saying that. Scottish Sonia is saying they ran and got home okay, but very scared. It's phenomenal, isn't it, guys? It's phenomenal. Daniel Payne is saying PM questions right now. Israel steps up strikes and sends more troops to the border. I do think that whole Golan Heights, guys, I think that whole Golan Heights is going to be crackers pretty soon. Yeah, Danny Boy. So Danny Boy is saying a child got, Now, Danny boy, are we talking about the child? Is that a new one? Because as I understand it, there was a girl yesterday that got sent home for wearing a union flag dress at school. Linda Lou is saying, I have to say these things are nothing new. I just happening really more often, like every day. Yeah, it is happening more often, guys. It's happening more often. It's happening every day. Look, guys, I'm going to close this down now on TikTok. I'm going to close it down on TikTok. I'm going to be over on YouTube for a couple of minutes. I'm going to try and get a couple of comments on YouTube in the morning. Listen, guys, can you do me a favor as well? Can you make sure you like and comment and subscribe and share my stuff on all your social platforms, guys? Really helps me out when you guys do that. Later on today, guys, I hope I'm going to be back on. I hope I want to get on at 8 every night, but I think 7 is a better time. I don't know how that's going to work, guys. I'm going to try and get to the gym early. But I've got so much to do, guys. So much stuff. You know, I would literally, as soon as I finish these live streams, I'm running into the house. I'm doing other stuff, guys, and I'm really busy at the moment. So I'm going to try and get back on later between 7 and 8. Remember, though, guys, we are triple streaming now. So if you've not done so already, you can go and watch this video on YouTube. I don't know if it'll be uploaded to. I don't know. Are the videos uploaded to X? I don't know. Uploading to YouTube, uploading to X, uploading everywhere, guys. Please show your support. Click like, comment, subscribe, buttons down below, whatever they are, guys, okay? So we're going to close down on TikTok, and we are going to, we're going to close down on TikTok, and then we are going to go over to YouTube for a couple of minutes. Guys, look, I'm not going to be able to get everybody's comments on YouTube, so I do apologize. And we are off. We are off the TikToks. We are off the TikToks. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second. We're good. We're good. Right. I'm just going to jump down, guys. I'm going to get the most recent. Comments. Silly Gallardi, hello. He's saying the Israeli Druze are crossing the border to Syria to help. Yeah, I mean, I don't think like we said, I don't think we've seen the end of these conflicts in the Middle East. I do think Iran's going to come back on the cards pretty soon, guys. You know, we have got that situation now in the Middle East where the Americans have said, Iran, do not obtain a nuclear weapon. And then the Iranians have said, we will obtain a nuclear weapon. So at some point, guys, that has to happen again. It's going to be key to see what happens with these, what's actually happened with these, the nuclear enrichment facilities, or whatever they're called. Matt is saying becoming a security guard is too easy to get. The job centre pays for it, and it's only a 2-day course. Yeah, look, guys, we are seeing a massive uptick in people who don't speak English as their first language. I've got some of my breakfast on my lip. We're seeing a massive uptick, guys, of people in the United Kingdom who don't speak English as their first. Look, guys, I've got nothing wrong with that. I've got nothing wrong with people not speaking English as their first language. You know, when I go to the Middle East, Arabic's not my first language, and you know, my Arabic's pretty bad. When I go to Ukraine, my Ukrainian's not that. You know, it's not where it should be. You know, but I always try and blend in. I don't try and I always try and blend in. I always try and follow the customs, follow the norms. We do have a massive uptick in the United Kingdom of, in fact, what camera are we on? Are we on that one? Are we on that one? That one? Yeah, I think we're on that one. Are we on that one? No, we're on that one. Right, sorry, I didn't know which camera we was on. So, yeah, guys, listen, in the United Kingdom, like I just said, we've got a big uptick of people who don't speak English as their first language becoming security guards. Now, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I think the problems are going to arise in the United Kingdom, how there's going to be this big police shake-up. We know this because the police have announced it. You know, they want a big shake-up. They want these mega police units. What I think is going to happen, I think they're going to subcontract a lot of security to private security companies. Then over time, they're not going to give them powers of arrest. They're going to give them powers of detention. And that's where I think it's going to start, guys. And I do think very soon we're going to start to see like policing being outsourced to security companies. And a lot of those security companies will be employing people who don't speak English as their first language. And again, Nothing wrong with that until things start to go wrong. And I just think that people need to have an affinity to the place that they are working, especially in your services, guys, especially in your your core services, fire, ambulance, police, military as well. Those people need to have an affinity to that place that they're working. Otherwise, they don't care. They won't care. Like, how do you know what happens in the back of an ambulance if those people don't care? I don't know, and I'm not saying anything bad happens in the back of an ambulance, but would it be beyond the realms of possibility? And I'm not saying this is happening, guys. I'm just asking a question, okay? Like, if people didn't like, for example, how would I go with this? I'm just trying to be careful with my words, guys. So there was the British politician. What was her name? I think it was Jess Phillips. Was it Jess Phillips? I think it was Jess Phillips, and she said that because she was she had a pro-Palestine political stance. I think it was Jess Phillips. She said she had a pro-Palestine political stance. She got preferential treatment by the NHS. Am I wrong in saying that, guys? I think I'm right in saying that. I think it was Jess Phillips. I think it was. So let's just take that, guys. Let's just take that as let's just take that as a benchmark. Okay, let's just take that as a benchmark. All right. Remember what I just said about the services. Let's just say that there's an incident and someone, a protester, somebody with an Israeli flag has been injured and they get put in the back of an ambulance. You see where I'm going with this, guys? You see where I'm going with this? You see the direction of travel? I do think those things I do think that is a real thing, guys, okay? I do think that's a real thing and it's a real risk. Right, Slim is saying, I was told that a lot of them are taking pictures of the playgrounds to send to their families to show how great it was where they were living. So we're talking here about the people taking pictures of kids in playgrounds. I don't know, guys. Look, I do know. You just don't do it in Britain. It's not a thing to do in British culture. And you know what? I'll say you don't do it in any culture. Like, if I went to Dubai or Abu Dhabi or Saudi Arabia and I started taking pictures, come on, guys. Let's be real. Big up, fam. Let's be real for one time, okay? You know what I'm saying? So let's just pretend let's just pretend I'm in Saudi Arabia right now. I'm in Saudi Arabia. I'm a single man. I'm sat at a park. There's kids playing on the playground, and I start taking pictures of the kids. What do you think's going to happen to me in Saudi Arabia? I don't know. I don't think anything good for that matter. Slim is saying, So Slim is saying, Jess is a disgusting human being. Guys, look, okay, I do believe people have good intentions, guys. I do. I believe people's core values, everybody's good, guys. I do. I believe everybody's good. I've met some really bad people. And when you listen to their stories, you're like, you know what? You've had a really bad circumstance. You've been born and you've had things you've had things mold you that are really bad. And I do think a lot of the politicians at the moment, they started their lives good, but when donors get involved and these guys get involved, and it's just a dirty game, guys. Politics, it is an absolutely dirty game. Tilly Gallardi is saying it's only about care. It's not only about care, it's also a window for the weapon to go to the wrong hands. I don't know what that means, Tilly. I don't know what that's in response to. Can you elaborate on that a little bit more? Right, guys, listen, the crux of this video, just before I close it down, is it's kind of, it's not kind of, it's over for us now. If you are in your 40s, in your 30s, I think it is over for us now, all right? Our generation, this is what we've got. We need to start thinking now generationally. We need to start thinking generationally, communally to the golden generation, guys, okay? And I'm calling it now, guys. The golden generation are the kids 16 and under. Yes, of course, 17. Yes, of course, 18. But you've got to put a number on it somewhere, guys, okay? 16 and under, guys, okay? They are the golden generation. Because when they grow up and they're in their 30s, they're in their 40s, they're going to be remembering the struggles that they had. They're going to be remembering the struggles their parents had. They're going to remember sat at that dinner table, guys. Listen, I'm welling up now even thinking about this. they're going to be sat there when they're like in charge of stuff. They're going to be sat there and they're going to be remembering how much their parents struggled to put food on the table. They're going to be remembering how difficult things were for their parents and what struggles they went through. And they're going to be like, yeah, we're not having this for our kids. Not a chance, bro. That ain't happening, dude. You know, and I do think that I do think they're going to come together, guys. You know, and I can remember my generation as well. I mean, I was, I think, how old was I? I was like 7. I don't even know how old I was. I was well younger than 20 in 2000 and like 2000. I think I was like maybe 17 or something, 17, 18 in 2001 when the planes went into the Twin Towers. And I can remember people thinking like that my generation wouldn't be able to shoulder the burden of going to Iraq and going to Afghanistan and absolutely decimating all foes in front of us. We did. That was awesome. We did it. We destroyed all foes in front of us. Unfortunately, weak political leadership failed us. Hang on, guys. New comments. Where's the new comments? Oh, so hang on a minute. Silly Gallard is talking about outsourcing a soldier. So hang on. It's not only about care, it's also a window for the weapon to go. Yeah, okay, for a weapon to go into the wrong hands. Yeah, outsource. Yeah. So we were talking there about outsourcing security, guys. Look, I do believe in the United Kingdom we're going to start to see incidents of the police, if it's not already happening now, guys, where the police are going to be outsourcing, where the police are going to start outsourcing security to third parties, and you know, to outsource these things to third parties, security companies, and those security companies will employ a lot of people who are not who don't share British English values. I'll say. Linda Clark is saying, when the men were taking the pictures in our park, the police were called. They said to inform the Home Office. The Home Office word, yeah, like this is what I mean, Linda. So Linda's hit a point here, guys. Okay. You've got to take these things in, you've got to take these matters into your own hands, okay, guys? You've got to take these matters into your own hands. Like, you've got to deal with that yourself. So I don't know what the solution is, how to deal with that. Every scenario is going to be different. But what Linda's just found out there is she phoned the police weren't bothered. You know, they brushed it to one side. They said, phone the Home Office. This is what happened in Rotherham, guys. This is what happened in Rotherham. A lot of the, right, okay, I don't want to, my understanding of this is a lot of the incidents in Rotherham, you guys know what I'm talking about, happened involving taxis, in the back of taxis, with taxis, taxi drivers were involved. At that time in Rotherham, if an incident happened in a taxi, they had to report that to the licensing agency, the Rotherham Taxi Licensing Agency or something, and then that agency then had to report that to the police. So people were phoning up the police saying, this has just happened in this car, in this taxi. And the police were saying, if it happened in a taxi, you've got to phone the... Anyway, they're phoning the licensing up, and the licensing was saying, whoa, that's like a massive criminal. That's massively criminal. You need to phone the police. You can see the frustration here, guys. Like, I can't even say this, guys. I can't even say the words I was just about to say. You can imagine if something really bad's happened to you or somebody you loved, and they just want to forget it. They just want to heal. You know, you're trying to ring up, and what happened? It's difficult a lot, and it was brushed under the carpet, guys. We know now through freedom of information. We know now what the actual problem was. But this does seem to me, Linda Clark, like we're seeing the same problems again. Right, ladies and gentlemen, listen, I am going to close this down now. You guys have been fantastic. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to read all your comments, guys. I'm sorry I didn't get to read all your comments. The TikTok in the mornings takes priority, guys. It does, and it always will. In the evening, I'm going to be on. The chat's going to be open, and then who knows what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. But listen, protect the golden generation. I'm going to go now, and I'll see you later.